Rich people tend to think about money differently, not because they have more of it, but because they treat it as a tool rather than a goal. Instead of focusing only on earning a salary, they focus on building assets, things that generate income over time, like businesses, investments, or intellectual property. They also think in terms of opportunity and leverage, asking how money can work for them instead of just how to save it. Today we will talk about why rich people think differently about money. So before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. 1. Money is a system of growth, not just a tool of spending. Rich people do not look at money as something that is only earned and spent for survival or comfort. Instead, they treat it as a complete system that has movement, structure, and growth potential. In their mindset, money is not static. It is always flowing through different stages such as earning, investing, multiplying, and reinvesting. This systems-based thinking allows them to see beyond immediate transactions and focus on long-term financial architecture. For example, instead of asking, "How much money do I have?" they ask, "How is my money working for me right now?" This small shift in thinking changes everything because it turns money into an active participant in wealth creation rather than a passive resource. While many people follow a linear pattern of earning and spending, wealthy individuals build financial ecosystems where money continuously circulates and expands. 2. Opportunity cost shapes every financial decision. One of the strongest differences in thinking is the constant awareness of opportunity cost. Rich individuals understand that every financial decision has a hidden cost, not just what is spent, but what is lost by not using that money differently. For example, buying an expensive car is not just a purchase. It is also the potential investment returns that money could have generated over time. This does not mean wealthy people never enjoy luxury, but it means their decisions are deeply calculated. They evaluate both emotional satisfaction and financial consequence before spending. Over time, this mindset creates a habit of intentional decision-making where every rupee or dollar is assigned purpose. This reduces wasteful spending and increases long-term financial efficiency. 3. Wealth is measured in cash flow, not just income. Most people measure financial success by salary or monthly income, but rich people think in terms of cash flow. Cash flow is the movement of money in and out of assets, investments, and businesses. Wealthy individuals understand that high income alone does not guarantee wealth if expenses are equally high. Instead, they focus on building income streams that continue even when they are not actively working. These include rental income, business profits, dividends, royalties, and digital products. The key idea is stability and continuity. If money only comes when work is done, financial freedom is limited. But if money continues to flow without direct effort, wealth becomes scalable. This is why rich individuals prioritize systems over salaries. 4. The discipline of delayed gratification. A major psychological difference is the ability to delay gratification. Rich people are often willing to sacrifice immediate pleasure for long-term growth. Instead of increasing their lifestyle with every income boost, they maintain controlled spending and reinvest the surplus. This discipline creates a financial gap between income and expenses, which becomes the foundation of wealth creation. Over time, this gap compounds and turns into investments that generate additional income. For example, instead of upgrading cars or luxury items, frequently, they may reinvest profits into assets that appreciate in value. This does not mean they avoid enjoyment. Rather, they prioritize building financial independence before increasing consumption. 5. Risk is understood, measured, and strategically taken. Wealthy individuals do not avoid risk. They manage it intelligently. They understand that avoiding risk entirely can be more damaging than taking calculated risks, especially in an economy where inflation reduces the value of idle money. However, their approach to risk is structured. They analyze downside scenarios, probability of success, and potential returns before making decisions. They often diversify investments to spread risk across multiple areas instead of relying on a single outcome. For example, instead of investing all money in one business, they may distribute it across stocks, real estate, and multiple ventures. This allows them to survive failures while benefiting from successes. Their mindset is not emotional, but analytical when it comes to uncertainty. 6. Leverage. Multiplying output beyond personal effort. Leverage is one of the most important principles rich people use to build wealth. It means using external resources such as money, people, systems, and technology to increase results without increasing personal effort. In simple terms, leverage allows one unit of input to produce multiple units of output. For example, a business owner uses employees, marketing systems, and automation scale income beyond what one person could achieve alone. Investors use financial leverage by using capital to generate returns. Technology. Leverage allows digital platforms to reach millions without proportional effort. Wealthy individuals constantly seek opportunities where their time is not the limiting factor, because time is the only resource that cannot be expanded. 7. Ownership creates long-term wealth stability. Another major difference in thinking is the preference for ownership over active income. Most people exchange time for money through jobs, but rich people aim to own assets that generate income independently. Ownership includes businesses, real estate, stocks, intellectual property, and digital platforms. The key advantage of ownership is scalability. Profits grow without requiring proportional effort. For example, a business can expand revenue without requiring the owner to work more hours. Similarly, investments can grow in value even while the owner sleeps. Over time, ownership leads to exponential financial growth because assets appreciate and generate continuous income. 8. Financial education as a lifelong process. Rich people treat financial learning as a continuous journey rather than a one-time activity. They actively study topics like investing, taxation, business models, inflation, and market cycles. This knowledge allows them to make informed decisions and avoid costly mistakes. 4. Example. Understanding taxes helps them structure income efficiently, while understanding economic cycles helps them invest at the right time. They also learn from experience, mentors, and observation rather than relying only on formal education. This constant learning gives them adaptability in changing economic environments. 9. Emotional control in financial decisions. Emotions play a huge role in financial behavior, but rich people try to minimize emotional decision-making. They do not make investments based on fear, excitement, or social pressure. Instead, they rely on logic, data, and long-term strategy. For example, during market crashes, many people panic and sell assets at a loss, but wealthy individuals often see such moments as buying opportunities. Similarly, during market booms, they avoid over-investing due to hype. This emotional discipline helps them avoid impulsive financial mistakes that can damage long-term wealth. Stability in thinking leads to stability in financial outcomes. 10. Wealth is the result of thinking patterns and habits. Ultimately, the biggest difference between rich and average individuals is not income. It is thinking patterns and habits. Wealthy individuals consistently think in terms of systems, leverage, ownership, and long-term growth, while others often focus on immediate income and expenses. These thinking patterns shape daily decisions, which eventually shape financial outcomes. Wealth is not created in a single moment, but through thousands of repeated choices over time. Small decisions like saving, investing, learning, and avoiding unnecessary expenses compound over years. Now, if you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it the thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.